Come on in.
Hi, Miss Thompson.
Hi, I'm Patty.
Patty? Oh, hi, Patty. Kelsey Keiser with ADP.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Do you mind if I take a seat
Sure,
here?
you can sit down.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Who are you here to meet?
What?
Who are you here to meet?
I'm actually here to meet with Ben and Bonita Thompson. Taylor set up an appointment today.
Okay. Well, Taylor is no longer here.
Okay.
Me and my husband took over the business a few weeks ago, so
Okay.
let me go grab him and see if he has a few minutes to talk to you.
Sure,
Okay?
yeah, I'd really appreciate
Okay.
that. Thank
You're welcome.
you.
Thank you. You need to have a seat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Hi, Kelsey Keiser with
Hi.
ADP. Nice to meet you.
Brandon Cook.
Brandon Cook? Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
It's okay if I take a seat here?
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, sorry, I didn't know we had this meeting today. I know you met with Taylor a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
But yeah, I still have time to meet with you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time.
No problem.
I do have to compliment you on the facility as I was walking in. It's really beautiful.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And, really a unique, fun place for people to hang out.
Absolutely. We do try and do a lot of charity stuff here with, competitions and dodgeball tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I do have to tell you, I'm planning on bringing my family here next
cool.
time we have a birthday party or something like that.
Very cool.
Well, I do want to be mindful of your time, so I would like to set an agenda. Is 20 minutes okay for you for a meeting today?
Sure.
All right, so first I'd like to go over what Taylor and I discussed in our last meeting,
Okay.
and then ask you some more questions about Jumping Jungle and how you currently process your payroll and other HR administrative tasks.
Sure. It's actually called Jumping World now.
Jumping World? Okay,
Yep.
well, thank you for letting me
No
know
problem.
that. So then, if we do find a fit, I do have a presentation prepared for you.
Okay.
All right, first, before we get started, though, I do want to give you my business card.
Okay.
If you have any questions today, after today's meeting, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Okay.
And, I just want to let you know what I do here at ADP is I meet with about 6 to 8 small business owners just like yourself every day and, help them find a way how we can add value to their business through ADP. And really, I am qualified to ask you the right questions since your business is unique to help save you some money.
Okay.
All right. So if you could just explain to me, what has happened in the past couple weeks here at Jumping World?
Sure. We my wife and I own the business.
Okay.
And we just purchased this location.
Okay.
So we have 4 locations total.
Sure.
We have about 42 employees total. 6 are about full time. The rest are part time. They're usually high school students.
Okay.
So
Sure.
trying to get good work that way is a little difficult.
Okay.
You mentioned payroll. We do our payroll bi-weekly.
Okay.
And my wife does most of that right now.
Okay. Wonderful. So this is your 4th location then you mentioned?
Correct.
What are your goals for growth or growth opportunities?
Sure. Right now it's to get this business underneath our feet real quick, but then to continue to keep growing and trying to see where until someone tells me to stop.
All right, wonderful. So looking to get more locations, hiring
Absolutely.
on more people?
Correct.
And if you don't mind me asking, so you hired more people than when you did take over this location?
Hired a couple extra people, but yeah, nothing yet just because it's so brand new still. We're trying to figure it out.
Okay, wonderful. Well then regarding your payroll decision maker, I know you said that you and your wife are the owners. Should there be anyone else involved in this meeting?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Well then if you wouldn't mind just describing to me how you currently do process your payroll, from punch in to paycheck.
Sure. So right now, the majority of the people are all hourly, and they fill out manual time cards.
Okay.
And then the managers at each location collect them all.
Sure.
And then my wife Lisa, sits there and in between taking care of our 3 kids, goes through and adds up everything and does the payroll manually that way. She uses QBooks, I think.
QBooks?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. How long do you think that process takes as a whole between your wife and the managers?
Probably right around like 6 hours.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like them to be doing with their time?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, she could spend it doing anything else, I'm sure,
Right.
in her head, but trying to run a household with 3 kids and payroll isn't always as easy as it sounds.
Right, that's understandable. So then regarding payroll with the manual, do they just report to you their hours or do you use any rounding systems with that?
Just hours. So they just give us how many hours they work each day. Each kid has a schedule or whatever, and then we collect them at the end of each week.
Okay. And I know you have I'm sure you have a great team in play here, but do you ever worry that they're, maybe not even intentionally stealing time or have any time theft issues?
I haven't had any issues yet. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I haven't thought about it, but now that you bring that up, yeah, we probably do.
especially, with younger kids, they might not understand what they're doing. So
Sure.
maybe that could be a concern for you.
Yeah, it might not be on purpose, but it could be happening, absolutely.
Okay, great. So we did just cover the payroll process. If you wouldn't mind describing to me your recruiting and onboarding process then?
Usually word of mouth.
Okay.
A lot of these high school kids have friends and stuff like that are
Right.
looking for jobs, and so that's how we usually get majority of the people. And then we do a quick check on them real quick, make sure that they're, humans, and then,
Right.
we hire them on. We haven't had to hire too many people, though, in the last year and a half, because a couple people have stayed with us.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. And you said you do a check on them. Is that a background check that you conduct or a reference check?
Just a reference check.
Okay, so you don't currently do background checks?
No.
Have you ever had an instance where having a background check might have been beneficial? I'm sure you have great employees, but if there's ever a performance issue?
Not yet.
Okay.
But it doesn't say that doesn't happen.
Right. All right. And do you feel like you're confident that you are hiring the correct people to be employed on your team then?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, then the last area that I do want to ask you about is, based on our experience, every 1 out of 3 companies does experience a tax penalty every year. So I'm not sure who does your taxes, but have you ever had any experience with that?
No, my wife does that, and she's got, an accounting background and stuff like that.
Okay,
But
wonderful.
it's just, I guess the only trouble she has with that is just keeping up with the laws and regulations.
Right.
So she spends a lot of time on Google.
Okay, so she's just Googling to keep up with the compliance issues?
Correct.
And if there ever was a fine or a mistake on the taxes in that unfortunate situation, who would pay for that, or whose shoulders would that fall on?
On mine, yeah.
Okay,
Or us as the owners.
Okay, so if there ever would be a fine, that could be detrimental to your business?
Absolutely.
All right. And just going off of compliance again, how do you keep up with the compliance of the labor law posters that are hanging in your office?
That's all on her. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what she does. But I think a lot of it is spent, either asking other colleagues that she used to work with, or just again researching on the internet.
Right. Okay. So maybe again just some compliance issues there as well.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for answering my questions today. I really do appreciate it. Just to kind of summarize what we've talked about, first it sounds like big time opportunity. You have your managers and your wife processing your payroll, but really there's a lot of other things that they'd rather be doing. Could be helping out with the business, growing it, as well as you mentioned your wife spending time with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Second, we have the compliance issues with background checks. You mentioned you haven't done them in the past, but they could be something in the future that would really help you grow and strengthen your business.
Sure.
And then lastly, the compliance with taxes. So even though your wife may be wonderful at running them, if there ever was a mistake or she Googled wrong information, the fine would fall on your shoulders.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you think I'm missing here today?
No.
Okay. Well, then if it's okay with you, I will transfer over to my presentation.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Wonderful. Well, so like I mentioned before, I am with ADP, and that stands for Automatic Data Processing.
Okay.
And at ADP, we process every 1 in 6 checks in the nation, as well as we serve over 400,000 small business clients just like yourself.
Okay.
But, at ADP, we like to think that we're more than a payroll company. It sounds like a cliche, but we really are in the business of your success. So first, we have the cash management section here. So that's going to be the payroll service, so you can focus on your sales. Second is people management. This is very important because people are your number one asset, and we want to make sure that you have the right team in play.
Sure.
So going off of that, included in our service are those background checks that we mentioned for you. Comes with our service, so you can make sure that you're hiring the right people, and we never have any issues there.
Okay.
Also including in that is, you're talking about the manual punching in system. So, we could set up a time and labor management system so that you're actually paying your employees for the correct amount of time that they have worked.
Oh, wow, okay. And this also handles the cash flow as well, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yes. So finally, we do have the risk management. This is just to release some of the stress of actually running a business. We will file your payroll taxes for you, the 1099s, W-2s, and at ADP, we are right 99.9% of the time. But if there ever was that unfortunate 0.1% chance that we made a mistake, we would cover all the fines for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
So you see how that could really benefit your business?
Sure.
And then finally, we do have our labor law posters, including in the risk management as well. We will send you a new poster every time it is updated.
Okay.
Do you see how that could reduce some risk for you as well? All right, so do you see how our 360-degree approach can benefit your business?
Sure. But, ADP is a large company.
Right.
And, last week I had an issue with my cable, and I called Time Warner. it took 3 or 4 transfers before I got to the right person.
Sure.
How do I make sure I'm just not another number to ADP?
I completely understand your concern with that. I actually do hear that from my clients a lot. So what we have in ADP is we have a client service team that you have. So when you do call into our 24/7 support line, the first time you make contact with someone, every time you call back after that, they'll try to connect you with that same person again.
Okay.
We also have the one-call resolution. So the first time you call, you should get an answer to your question.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then also I am a local representative, so if you would ever need anything, you can always contact me. You have my information.
Okay, cool.
Does that ease your concern with
Absolutely.
the customer service side of things?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, then I would really like to show you how I can save, or how ADP can save your wife and those managers that time, that valuable time to actually process the payroll.
Sounds good.
Is it okay if I scoot over there to show you this?
Yep.
All right. So this is what I'm really excited about. It's called our ADP Run mobile app. So first right here we have the payroll option. So that's going to be what you're going to choose to process your payroll.
Okay.
So I'll let you drive since you're going to be the one showing your wife this.
All right.
So right here is just saying that we're going to be starting a new week. So you can go ahead and click Start Weekly.
Okay.
And then this page just shows when the checks will come out, when the period starts, and then when the period will end. And you can switch the direct deposit feature on or off.
We'll use direct deposit.
Okay, so we'll just keep it on. You can go ahead and click Start.
Okay.
And then will be a list of all your employees. You can sort them by hourly, salary, or if you ever do have any contract workers or 1099s, you can put that in as well.
Okay.
So if that looks good, we can hit Preview. And then Calculate. And this is just saying that we're just in demo mode here.
Sure.
And this is actually my favorite feature of the ADP Run app. It's going to be the cash required in your bank account to actually process your payroll.
Okay, good. So that's the cash flow.
Yes, so that's
Okay.
going to be the cash flow. To make sure you have that, you can go back and finish it later if you need to go make sure you have that. But otherwise, if everything looks good, we can hit Approve and Approve Payroll, and you're done.
Wow.
So do you really see how that could save your wife and your managers a lot of time with actually processing the payroll?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. So how are you feeling so far about ADP then?
Good. You answered that about the big question or the big company and stuff like that. But, let me ask you. You've been here 6 months?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And you're what, 21, 22?
I'm 23, yes.
Okay, so 23. I've been doing this for 3.5 years, and obviously I've invested all of my, my life savings. This is my world.
Right.
Why would I turn my payroll over to somebody who's been with a company for 6 months?
I completely understand what you're concerned with that. I am newer to ADP, but with ADP, we actually have very extensive several-week training program that I go through. I'm working with my mentors still every day, contacting them, keeping them updated on my current clients, such as yourself. But I think it's actually an advantage for me to be a newer employee since I am right fresh out of that experience training, and so I can really find value for your company.
Okay.
Does that ease your concern with my age then?
Sure.
Okay, wonderful. So is there any reason why you wouldn't move forward with ADP today?
I guess the biggest thing is I got to talk to my wife.
Okay.
Obviously she does a lot of this stuff on this side of the business.
Sure.
So I'd need to speak with her first.
Well, I completely understand that you definitely don't want to step on anyone's toes, but you did mention that you are the main decision maker.
Correct.
And we do want to start saving you that time and money right away. The great thing about ADP is we're not on a contract basis. It's payroll to payroll.
Okay.
So you could get that implemented today, start saving that time, see how she thinks about the system, and then at that point we could, see what goes from there.
Okay. I hear you. But I guess, more or less I want to get my, I just bought this business. I want to get my feet underneath me real quick before we do anything. So maybe a follow-up meeting
Okay.
might be the best way.
Do you have any questions that I can answer for you to help ease your concern?
No, not right now. Just basically just kind of showing what you've gone over today and showing
Okay.
it to my wife.
All right. Well, then let's set up a second meeting with you and your wife.
Okay.
When would be a good time for you?
Next week, Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay. So how about Tuesday the 8th?
That works.
And would morning or afternoon work best for you?
Morning.
Morning? Okay, so maybe about 9 a.m.?
Sure, that works.
And I'll just come right back here to your office
Sure,
and meet with both you and your wife.
that works.
Okay, great. So I do just want to leave this behind for you.
Sure, what do
I
you
have
have
some
there?
information for you to show her,
Okay.
as well as for you to look over. We do have our pricing proposal added in here, but this is going to be really important for you because it'll be our next steps. If, after talking with your wife, if you'd want to gather all this information so we can start implementing you as a new client as soon as possible. So what will happen is when I do add you as a new client, the implementation specialist will call you within 24 hours.
Okay.
And they will set you up with your payroll, and then I will come back and process your first 2 payrolls with you.
Oh wow. Okay. So you'll be here on site with me.
Yes,
Okay.
I will be here with you running through that, making sure everything else is working correctly.
Okay.
I also have some documents in here. Our HR 411 I think will be very important for you, and that's going to include all the things that we talked about with hiring the right people. There's going to be a professional set of tools and resources for you to use to make sure that you have the right team in play.
Okay, so this comes along with you guys, huh?
Yep, that's all included like we discussed before.
Okay.
Well, do you have any other questions for me today then?
No, not right now. Just, let me talk to my wife, and then we'll meet next week.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, so I will see you next week at 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Good job.
Thank you.
Very good job. Here.
Thank you. Your real, this Brian. I was like, what is your real name?
Yeah, they did use my real name. But yes, you did a very good job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
What school are you from?
Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Oh, okay, so the same as the
Yep.
rest of this. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really exciting to have both of us in here.
Yeah, I was going to say, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for holding that for me the whole time.
How much time do we have left?
3 minutes. Hope I covered everything.
You did.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So I go back down now.
She's going to take your name.
Great.
Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
No problem. Bye.
All right, if you follow me.
All right.
What's up, man? I
How
saw
you
you
doing?
on there.
Where, on the TV room?
Yeah, downstairs. You killing it.
Yeah. Loved it. Very cool.
All the extra chairs are in here.
Yeah. I still have one out there. Should I bring?
Oh, great.